My name is Moses Powell. I've been studying jiu-jitsu for the last 20 years. I'm the master for Renda Visitational. And at this particular time, I'm a senior master in the art of jiu-jitsu Te and jiu-jitsu Ryu.
.radio.net presents to you some of the most deadly jiu-jitsu masters in the world. Trained in the vicious urban inner-city street combat system of Sanukas Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, this art was created by the legendary Dr. Moses Powell, the father of American contemporary jiu-jitsu and the greatest martial artist of the 20th century. This network brings together 4 radio shows 4 nights a week, starting with Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Each one teach one, with the Pia Master himself, Grandmaster Urban Muhammad, and his protege, Professor Terrence Hale. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Modern Combat Masters, hosted by the inheritor of GM Billy Davis Jiu-Jitsu, guru of his own Filipino system, and Sanukas Master, Grandmaster Daryl Sargent, and his co-host, Sifu Reseda de Jesus. Thursday nights at 9 p.m. is Professor Tom Curry's radio talk show, a Kenpo Master and Professor of Sanukas Ryu, 20 years law enforcement, senior tactical training instructor for intelligence retired, and author of the official Sanukas Ryu Jiu-Jitsu testing and training curriculum. And Friday nights at 8 p.m. is Making the Connection, hosted by the president of DocRadio.net, Grandmaster in the art of Sanukas Ryu and Soke of Kuroshi Kaikan martial arts system, and president of the Family of Sanukas organization, Soki Haisan Khalik, and his co-host, Shihan Farouk Gibbs. All of these shows can be linked to online by typing in docradio.net or listening live at the scheduled time by dialing 646-716-6825. DocRadio.net is also proud to present DocMagazine.net, the world's largest martial art magazine dedicated to Dr. Moses Powell, Sanukas Ryu i2i Jiu-Jitsu, urban tactical street self-defense, and streetology. Please join our Facebook group by typing in docradio.net and follow us on Twitter by typing docradio.net. Thank you for your support, and in the words of Doc, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back, os.
Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings, this is Fukan Shabazz from senjokai.com, dojo located, Sanukas Ryu dojo located in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm filling in for Shihan Salahuddin and the Joker, Walker, until they actually come in. Tonight we're going to have an interesting segment, i2i segment, between Senior Grandmaster Anakanda Mushaba and Professor Yusef Rahman. Grandmaster, are you online?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. And right now I'm just waiting for Professor Yusef Rahman to come. While he's waiting to come, he's going to kind of give the audience some updates what's coming up this week. We actually have tomorrow we're going to have an on-demand interview with Professor Daryl Sargent. Later on in the week, we're going to have an interview with the last wife of Dr. Powell, Miss Gina Powell. And on Friday, we're going to have an interview with Professor Darrell King in Maryland. So we should have a pretty interesting week. Right now, like I said, we're just waiting for Professor Rahman to call in. How you been, Grandmaster?
I've been really, really good, focusing on the seminar this week in Baltimore, Maryland, on September 3rd.
Okay. Yeah. And that's good stuff. And it looks like Professor Rahman has just logged in. Professor Rahman, are you there?
Yes. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Before I set the rules for this eye-to-eye, how was your day today, sir?
Oh, my day was real nice. And you?
My day was good. Like I said, it's supposed to be my day off. You know, I was supposed to be on the side with Anderson Cooper. You know what I mean? So So I was called back into the radio show. So I'm here to do my duty. All right, let me just set a little ground rules here. This is our first i2i. So the only thing I ask is that we keep everything respectful. I don't really know. I'm gonna, Professor Rahman, you pretty much called this i2i session, so I'm pretty much gonna just lay back. And if I come in, it's only if I feel things are getting if things get, if I feel disrespectful, if I think it gets too heated, I'm just gonna come in and kind of interject. But other than that,
is Grandmaster what's his name on?
Yes, sir. I'm on the phone, brother. Yes, sir.
Okay.
How you doing this evening?
I'm doing
good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna be quiet right now, and Professor Yusef Rahman, you have the floor.
Okay. I heart to heart to the wall and back. I was listening to your interview.
Yes.
And there's a couple of things, that I disagree with. So they said,
okay,
you want to have a dialogue?
Sure. Absolutely. Let's talk about it. I said yes. Let's talk about it. Sure.
Okay. One, you said that the difference between senior grandmaster and grandmaster is that senior grandmaster is 10th degree. Okay. Now, when you have in most systems that have 10th degree red belt, 10th degree red belt, 10th degree is grandmaster. In most systems that go to 10th degree, red belt, 10th degree black belt. Now, in Sanuka's rule, because Doc does things a little different, he say that, yes, you can have grandmaster at 8th degree, or most people that have grandmaster at 9th degree, it's because the teacher's still there, and out of respect to the teacher, even though they're already 10th degree red belt, they keep the 9 out of respect to their teacher. Then when their teacher passed, then they take what they normally are, which is 10th degree, correct, red belt, which is also a grandmaster.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go on to finish first.
No, I'm finished.
Oh, okay. When Doc was alive, living with me in Vermont, that's when he promoted me to 10th degree and gave me the title of senior master. That was why he was alive. Doc does a lot of things different, for different people. So he told me at the time, he said, I'm promoting you to 10th Dan, and 10th Dan, you will be called grandmaster. And he said, I don't do this for everybody, and I don't give it to everybody. So that's the reason why I said at 10th Dan, you was a senior grandmaster. That's the way Doc had explained it to me at the time. And that's the reason why I said that. Yes.
Okay. I understand that.
Yes.
But I'm saying to you, that's what I said in Snookers, Doc has his own way of doing things. So he do what he wanted to. Doc does what he wanted to. And since he's qualified, he do what he wanted to. But,
that's true.
When you talking in public and say something that you make people that don't know think that there's a difference between one and another. Like, some people have, that's grandmaster's 10th degree, some people have a certificate that's paper, and other people got a scroll. And they're all grandmaster 10th degree. But to make the distinction, he gives some people a scroll, and some people he give a paper certificate.
Right.
So, for clarity, when you're in the public, you got to give clarity because you say, well, what's the difference? Or he's higher than him, or he got some knowledge that the other ones don't have. And a grandmaster is a grandmaster. Once you get to that level, it is what it is. Like Don say, that it's a bar, and you guys reach the bar. So once you reach the bar, you reach the bar. And there's no difference between you and me. It's I got the bar, you got the bar. You're a grandmaster, I'm a grandmaster. You're a professor, I'm a professor.
Again, I explained it the way that Doc explained it to me. And again, Doc told me 8th and 9th degree is Grandmaster. He told me 10th Dan is Senior Grandmaster. That came out of his mouth. That's what he told me. That's what he put on my certificate. So there's going to be a difference of opinion as to what he told me as opposed to what, you may know or others may know. But I can only go by what he told me. And that's the reason why I stated what I did. I'm very, very careful about putting out misinformation because I don't want to confuse nobody when it comes to that. But I only said that because he told me that was the way it is. If he changed since then, he never told me. So I can only go by what he told me. So, this can, we can probably spend a lot of time going back and forth with this, but I understand your point as far as what you're saying, and then I'm asking you to understand my point. I'm going to hold on to what Doc told me, and that is something I'm not going to let go unless I know that he said something different, but he never told me that. And that's the only reason why I said what I did.
Okay. Now, the second point that you said that I have a disagreement with, this thing about this evolving, the system evolved.
Yeah.
I got knowledge from Doc, and I went away and brought him something back, and it evolved. It evolved to something else. Now, Doc say numerous times, one, he said that I'm snooker's rule, meaning that if you want someone to show you what snooker's rule is all about, I'm the only one that can do that. If you want to know what snooker's rule is really about and who can demonstrate what snooker's rule is, then I'm the only one who can do that. You got some of my students that can have some part of them they can do, they understand, and other parts they don't. In another situation, he said that the masters do the same thing over and over and over every year. He said, when in a minute I'm going to do something, and you see they don't do what I do. In another instance, in 1999, he said that I can show you what I taught you last year. What I want for you is to get it down pat. So there's numerous cases where he said out of his own mouth, and, I've been blessed to be around a little while. I ain't just come yesterday. I've been blessed to be around the 4 generations of snooker's rule. And so he never made it appear like it was any of his students that arrived at the state where they had superseded either his knowledge or his ability in snooker's rule. He said also that I am the river that never runs dry. In other words, as much as you come to me, I still got some else for you.
That is true.
So I'm saying that when we as students of his, have to be careful how we represent the little bit we got. All of us got a little bit. All of us, it's like a great banquet table, and you got a little bit over here, I may got a little bit over here, and another one got a little bit over here, and together we may have a big portion of what it is. If we put all of us together, we may have a big portion of what it is. But even then, we don't have all of it. Even then, we take all of them, all the grandmasters, all the professors, put us all together in one pot, and put it by itself. We don't equal him in our knowledge of snooker's rule or our ability to do it or understand it. Because when you see him do it, even when he couldn't walk, when you see him do something, and you see any of us do something, and that's barring nobody. You see him do, and you see us do, you see the difference in the flow, you see the difference in the knowledge, you see the difference between him and everybody else. So I'm saying we have to be careful how we do that thing.
Yes. So you saying that I said that I went away and I came back and evolved snooker?
During the interview, you said that.
Okay, go ahead.
That the interview you did on the radio, you said that he taught you. You you one of the few that made him happy because you came back and taught him. It's on an interview.
That is true. I
did. You did not too late, a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I did. I did. See, my relationship with Doc is something that most people have no clue as to what my relationship was, how Doc trained me, how I came along, how I got to be where I'm at. You know, I did what Doc asked me to do. He asked me to take what he gave me and come back and thrill him, come back and teach him something, come back and show him something. I was able to do that, you know, and this was something from out of his own mouth. See, but the thing is this here, you know, people, see, I never was into all of the glory and all the ego and whatnot. That's never have been my thing. All I wanted to do was to learn and to please my teacher. And I did whatever I can do to accomplish what he asked me to do. Now, we had a whole lot of private moments that is not public, so a lot of people don't know exactly what our relationship was. So I can only tell you what my relationship was with Doc, what we talk about, what he said to me. Now, and it's up to the person to either accept it or don't accept it. They can feel I'm making it up, or they can, accept it on face value. See, but the thing is...
Okay, so what I'm saying is, I understand what I'm saying, Grandmaster. I understand what I'm saying, Grandmaster. What I'm saying to you is this, I understand, I had a special relationship with Doc. Anybody that know me and know Doc, whether they know me as Brother Joseph, whether they know me as JoJo Dancer, or whether they know me as Yusef Rahman. Anybody that know me over the 40-some years I've been training with Doc. Anybody that know me know that me and him have a special relationship. His first wife was me and my brother's babysitter, so I know him a long time. Even before I was but we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is, as a student, as a dedicated student of Dr. Moses Power, as a dedicated student of Dr. Moses Power, as a person that loves him, as a person that has no other teacher, no other system, no other teacher, all you have is what he gave you. All you care about is what he gave you, or what he allowed you to obtain, the freedom he gave you. So, but I'm saying we have to be careful now that he's gone, how we represent what he gave us.
Right, exactly, and that's the whole point. You keep talking about being careful, brother, when I am one of the most careful people that you ever going to run into. See, I only speak what I know to be true. See, I'm a man of great integrity, and I have no reason to just say anything out of my mouth because I'm not looking for the fame and glory. That's not me. So when I say something, it's because it's real. It's because that's the way it was with me, and that's the way it was with Doc. So I'm not saying anything disrespectful. I'm not saying anything off the cuff. A lot of people might not get it. They might not understand it, but it is what it is just the same. You see, so I did what he asked me to do, and that's the point that I was trying to make. And yes, he the one that said, yes, you're one of the few people who was able to make me happy by doing what I said. That's what he said to me. And I'm only repeating what I said.
All right, let me, so I'm saying to you, Grandmaster, is this. If you say that, yes, he asked me to do something, and I did what he said, or did what he asked me to do, that's in appearance, that's different than saying that I thrilled him and I taught him something.
Because it ain't no different. No. You misunderstand it. Doc's the one who told me that I thrilled him, that I taught him something. And see, in Vermont, we were teachers to each other in many ways. But that's the thing that you wouldn't know because you wasn't there. So you wouldn't know that to be true. You see? So those are the things that have happened. People don't know that part of Doc, where Doc was reaching out, where Doc, see, the thing is, when Doc came up there with me to Vermont, Doc's life was almost out. Doc was in trouble. Doc was sick. Doc wasn't well, and Doc was on his way out. I was there to come to his rescue when nobody else did. I was there to help assist him in coming back, getting his health back, bringing him back to life, and really getting him back into the spirit of teaching and what he wanted to do. These are things that he told me. These are things that he shared with me because of what I did. He asked me, show me something. Show me what you do. Teach me something. Say, yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm going to use that. Or I'm going to take this, do that with that. That's our relationship. So you can't speak on it because you weren't there and you don't know.
And okay, so what I'm saying to you is this, Grandmaster. That's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, brother. It don't change anything.
No, you don't know what I'm saying to you. No, you don't know what I'm saying to you.
Right.
Well, you don't know what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, Doc, no, you don't. Doc, say you do something. Say I'll do something. Say he train, he gives the technique and I'll do something. Or he'll see a bird, or he see a cat, or he see whatever. When it goes in the brain, it goes in one way. When it goes in his brain, it goes in one way. Wherever he got it from. He may say, yeah, I like that. I like whatever it is. I like what you did. Oh, yeah, you see what he did? I like that. Now, but where the benefit of him is, when it go in the brain, go around in the brain, come out the other side. It don't come out the other side the way it went in. So for me or you or anybody else to say that you showed him something, he gave you something and you made it yours, and you showed him something, it went in the brain, it went around in the brain, and it came out the other side of the brain. For one of us, any of us, and I don't know too many people got a better relationship with Dr. Ratcliffe. I don't know.
I know you don't.
Okay. I know you don't. Now, this long-standing relationship since the late 60s. It's a long-standing relationship. Now, so for one of us to say that when it ran around his head, whatever he's seen us do, to roll around in the head and come out the other side like it went in, we don't understand.
Brother, you know what? We can talk all night on this point. I stand firm by my statements and what I said, and I'm not backing off of it because I know what's true. I know what me and Doc talked about. I know what he said to me, and that's fine. So let's move on to the next thing because we can talk about this all night long, and we're not going to get anywhere. So let's move on to your next point that you disagree about.
Okay. Those are two major things I disagree with.
I was at Atlantic Avenue, 1974. I understand that it was a question about me being at Atlantic Avenue.
No, it was never a question about you being at Atlantic Avenue.
Okay.
It was never a question about you being in Atlantic Avenue. Because when I seen you in Muslim Khalifa, when you did the demonstration, you said, oh, I remember you from Atlantic Avenue. You don't remember me. And I said, of course I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course I do.
Absolutely.
So therefore, there's no way I could say that you weren't at Atlantic Avenue when you see me personally and say, yeah, I remember you from Atlantic Avenue.
Right. Absolutely.
I started living at Atlantic Avenue in 1969. Right.
Was there a question, Grandmaster, and also Professor Rahman? By the way, this is Salah Dean. Sorry, I have some technical difficulties, but I'm here now. Was there a question as about the period or the how much training did he actually do there? And as far as like when you got there in '69, there was a statement made that Grandmaster Anakanda was from Connecticut and wasn't not in New York and not from Brooklyn and couldn't be there as far as everyday training with Doc.
Okay, my statement in that was
the difference
that
here.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Grandmaster. How old are you?
I'm 57, brother. In 1974, I was 19 years old in a 4th degree black belt under Doc.
Okay, no problem. Now, what I said is that in 65, the date I heard was 65. 65 years old, I was 16, and I'll be 63 the first of the year.
Right.
So what I said was that you were a student. You was in school. You was a child.
I was at 65. Yes, I was 10 years old. That's when I started.
Right. You was a child.
1965.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's what I said. You was a child. And you lived in Connecticut, as far as I know.
Absolutely, I did live in Connecticut.
Since you was a child, and did not live in New York City.
Right.
Being a child and going to school and doing stuff that all children do, it was impossible for you to be in Brooklyn, say, every day, 2-3 days a week, because you had stuff to do and you was in Connecticut.
That's right. I didn't start coming to Brooklyn until 73, 74, somewhere around there.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So when that said 65, it's impossible for him to have any really extensive training in Sanukis in 534 Atlantic Avenue because he was a child. And as a child, you know, your mother, father, you got to do homework, you got to get your sleep and all these other things that you can do.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. No problem.
Respond to that, Grandmaster Anakanda, a little more detail. What Professor Rahman seems to be saying or implying is that you were extremely young and couldn't have been possible for you to have been training, let's say, every day at 554 Atlantic Avenue or wherever Dot was in 65 and 66, 7, and 8. How would you respond to that? Because I know you're one of the most senior people out there, being one of the youngest, like you said.
Yes, when I started with Doc, it was in Connecticut in 1965. I was 10 years old. I was a black belt in Kempo Karate at 10 years old. I was a junior black belt. Doc started training me at 10 years old after he did an exhibition at a school called Freddy Wish. And I've been training with Doc, again, started at 10 years old. And what happened was when I trained with him in the public class in the dojo, I trained with him until I got my first rank or my first grade. My first grade was green belt. After I got my green belt, Doc took me out of public training, and he went to my home, and he trained me privately in my home until I got the first degree black belt. I went from green belt to brown belt to first degree black belt. After that, that's when I started going down to Brooklyn, New York, a little while after that. So the whole thing is that, yes, I did start very, very young. And Doc would come to Connecticut 3 days a week. He would stay at my house because he anytime he came in town, he stayed with my family because he became very close to my family. And like I said before, it had got so deep that he almost became my brother-in-law because he was about to marry my sister. So
yes, sir.
So he was there. Not only that, but there was many a times when he came to stay with me, he brought Professor B to my house. And Professor B would also train me, and he would work with me. And see, in my book, I speak about all these things. I lay it all on the table because I'm an honest person, and I put it on the table.
Yes,
even, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I say these things, I don't say these to mean any disrespect or to imply that I'm all of that, because I know better than that. One thing Doc said for me, he said, listen, don't ever try to be me. Always be yourself. And that stuck with me, and I never tried to be Doc. I always tried to be me. And Doc said that is what made me as good as I was because I always tried to be me and never tried to be him. This is what he said to me. So when I say things about, about Professor V coming to my house, and I talk about it in the book, and I talk about how Doc used to be my bookie, that's no disrespect to him. I mean, I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of the fact that, that Doc, agreed to be my hookie when Professor V would show me something. Doc would come on the mat, and he would let Professor V work on him, and then he would have me to work on him. I mean, I was scared because I was a kid. Yes, I was scared, because I didn't want to be up there trying to do nothing on Doc, But yet he insisted that I do, So, but
let me ask you a question,
I'm only sharing.
Let me finish the comment.
Yes, okay, 1 second. Let me finish, please. So all I'm doing is I'm sharing my relationship and my experience with Doc because, see, I talk about a side of Doc that most people don't know and don't see. And that's the promise that I made to him. He said, when you write about me, you let people know that I'm human. And that's what I did. And that's what that's all about. Plain and simple. Yes, brother, your question, please.
Okay. My question to you is, this what you said just now, what age were you?
Let me see. Professor V was coming down when Professor V started coming down to see me. I was a brown belt then. I don't know. It must have been about. I really have to say, it must have been about 1970, somewhere around there, when Professor V started coming down, and he continued to come down every so often until I started coming to Atlantic Avenue. When I started coming to Atlantic Avenue, then Professor V never came back to Connecticut. But I trained with him, of course, in New York whenever Professor V would teach. So I was young. I was somewhere, I don't know, 14, maybe, somewhere in there. You know, I was a young brother for sure.
Right.
When
right, that's what I'm saying. So as a young person, as a child, as what people will call a junior student, anybody, including him, and he was exceptional. Doc was this exceptional person.
Yes, he was.
As a junior student, as you mature as a person, as an individual, a lot of things you learn as a junior student act as foundation for when you get older.
You're right. That's life. Right. That's life.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Right.
I said yes, because that's life. When you're young, everything you learn builds your foundation for when you get older. Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. So if, say, any of us at 12 years old was training with whoever, what you learn at 12 or 10 or 8 or whatever, what you learn at that age before you mature as a person, when you don't know you 20, 18, 19, 20, 22, 19, when you that age where you basically grown.
Yes.
What you get at that age as a foundation. In other words, some of the things that the other guy that's a little older may learn, now you already know how to fall, and you know how to block a little bit, you know how to do a few of the basic things. And you use it as a foundation for when you get older, but it's not the same. It's not the same a person of 22 that got the knowledge and the person of 13 that got the knowledge. Right, absolutely. So, like I things that I've experienced with Doc, or things I experienced with Professor V, you understand what I'm saying? I say to certain people because I don't want to be construed or misunderstood like I'm somebody important or I got something somebody else didn't have, or my relationship as a person may be close with Doc, but my relationship as a student is like any other relationship as somebody as a student. The more I give, the more you put in, the more you get out of it. Like anybody else, like a person just came to the school, have no personal relationship with Doc. He come to the school, he get on the mat, he go home, do his homework, come back on the mat. Our relationship is the same. Even though as a personal relationship, as a friend, as a mentor, as almost as a big brother, or it's different in the two people, but as a martial artist, what you put in is what you get out of it. We both the same. And I think I got a close relationship with Doc over a lot of years. But that is my relationship with Doc. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with my ability or my knowledge of his intellectual creation, which is Lucas Rule, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back. And I have to separate the two.
Brother, see, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that regardless of what your relationship was with Doc, mine was what mine was. And the things, but the things that I experienced, the things that we've been through, the things that we talked about, see, Doc was one of my brothers. See, Doc, was telling people that I was his son. That's how he felt about me. I'm the son that he never had. His wife would tell you that I'm the son that he never had. You know, he wanted to tell the world that Anakanda Mushaba is my son. See, because that's the level of the relationship. So he was like a father, he was like a brother, he was a teacher, and we were friends. You know, that's why we hung out and we ran the streets together, because we were friends. Our relationship, you know, was what it was, and it didn't have, you know, have these points where, okay, you go come this point now, and, you know, we're not friends no more. Now, in public, I never, even though in private, I call him Moses, because that's the way we were. But anytime he was in public, in class, on the mat, I always called him master or sensei or doctor or whatever he was at the time. You know, because I kept that public perception, that public respect, you know, because that's the way I felt I wanted to do it. You know, and so, you know, but what we had, you know, behind closed doors, I'm talking about and writing about what Doc asked me to. You know, so many people see Doc in one way. This great, enormous God of a martial art, you know, on the mat, you know, who know this and who know that. But they don't know that Doc was a man, that Doc hurt, that Doc had feelings, you know, that Doc was somebody's son, you know, that Doc was a father, that Doc had children, you know, that Doc experienced pain, that Doc would sit there and cry in front of me about stuff that would, you know, break his heart. See, he wanted people to know that part of him. See, I was blessed to have that part of him. You know, and so he asked me, you write about it and don't you tell no lie. You tell it like it is. That's what he told me. You know, he said, you tell it like it is. Don't pull no punches. Don't try to make me look good. You tell the truth. You tell it like it is. He said, I'm not ashamed of who I was. You know, I'm not ashamed of what I've done. You know, and so I fulfilled my promise to him, to my teacher, to my father. You know, I fulfilled my promise to him when I wrote that book about. That's why I said my story, because that's exactly what it is. It's my story between Doc and I. You know, so I know that there's differences between, you know, how we see this thing and how we feel that it should be approached. But regardless of how some people may see it, I never in my life would ever disrespect Doc. I would never openly or publicly or even in written word disrespect my father, disrespect my teacher, disrespect my friend. That's not where I'm at. You know, I'm not trying to never try to build myself. You know, brother, I'm as humble as they come. You know, I mean, it don't get too much better than that. You know, because that's the one thing that Doc instilled in me. He said, you better not ever get an ego. If you do, I will take your head off. He made sure that I didn't have an ego. When I was coming up in training, it took me 8 months to go from beginner to first degree black belt. But Doc said to me, a year later, he said, let me tell you something. You was ready for your first time 8 months. But the reason why I waited a full year is I wanted to be sure that you didn't have an ego, that your head was on right. That's why I'm just giving it to you now. So he made sure that as I came up, I did not go into this whole ego thing, you know, like I'm all that. Man, I mean, he taught that and instilled that in me and beat that in me and burnt that in my brain, and that's the reason why I'm as humble as I am now. Because a lot of people look at me and say, wow, man, he's a real humble brother. Yes, I am. But he also taught me to bring out the lion when necessary. You see? So I don't have to go around ego tripping, and brother, I'm not that kind of person. I don't ego trip. I don't want myself to look bigger than what I am. You know, can't nobody be me or be me greater than I could be. Just like nobody can be Doc, nobody can be me, nobody can be you, nobody can be the brother that's on the line right now. You are at your greatest when you're being yourself. And that is the lesson that Doc wanted me to get. You know, so, you know, I don't want nobody to feel that I'm trying to be disrespectful, because I'm not. I love him too much. I sat there and cried with him in my freaking living room, because he was in so much pain. His heart was broke so bad by so many people. When Doc said, brother, he said, man, he said, look, Anakanda, you wouldn't have came and got me, I'd be dead right now. I'd be dead. I got a phone call from Brother Lesson. He said, Anakanda, come to New York and get Doc. In not 2 or 3 days, he's going to be dead. You need to come and get him. Why I'm calling you? Because I know that he will listen to you, and you're the only one who can get him out of New York. That's what Brother Lesson said to me. I don't know that to be so, but that's what he said to me. And I went to New York. You know, I got up in my car 3 o'clock in the morning, and I went to New York. And I waited for Doc 12 hours before he showed up. Then he showed up. Then we talked. home, man. I said, come on, Moses. I mean, that's what we thought. I said, come on, I'm taking you home. He said, okay, I'll be right back. He goes, I sit there all night in my car to the next day when he comes back because he didn't show back. I said, Doc, I waited for you. We got to go home. I got to get you out of New York. He said, okay, give me a minute. I said, no. This time, you're not going nowhere without me. You have to kill me to stop me. You get in my car, I take you where you got to go, and then we going. And you know what? Doc left New York with nothing but his gi bag. He had no clothes, no nothing. All he had was his gi. You know, and he came to Vermont. And what I did, you know, and Doc was sick, man. He wasn't well. So myself and my warriors, we worked on him, man. We massaged him. We healed him. We gave him vitamins. We gave him supplements. I cooked for him. I fed him. I bought him clothes. I brought his woman down. I fed her. I clothed her. I put them in an apartment. I paid for the rent. I paid for the gas. I paid for the lights. I paid for the food. I paid for the clothes because that's my teacher, and I love him that much. That's my brother. I'm going to take care of my father. See, that's what it was. But, see, people don't talk about that. People only talk about all this other stuff. But, see, this is where it really counts. This is when it really meant something. You know, when Doc was down and out, it was about to be out of here a lot sooner than he was. He said to me, brother, you gave me a whole lot more years to my life. He said, and I appreciate you for that. This is what he said. I don't care. See, I don't look at it like that. I'm not trying to take no glory. I'm just speaking the truth. And I'm speaking the facts of the way things were. And so, someone said to me one time, oh, so you said all that because you think you're special. No, I don't think I'm special. When a person tells the truth, I mean, you know, that don't make a person feel like they're special. I'm just talking the facts of what happened, how the whole thing was. You know, and so, I mean, you know, the slaves was all messed up, and, Dr. Holly walked. He was in trouble, and we worked on him. And when he started teaching again, because, see, the light was out. The fire was gone, man. And he sat there in that chair, and, and he would come out, he would sit there, and he would just sit there, just looking at me and my warriors training. It was nothing. That's just, come on, I'll show some. Nah, that's okay. And eventually, after about a month or so, he started feeling better, started getting better. Then he started teaching from sitting in the chair. Then he started showing things, the light and the spark started to come back. And it came back. So there's a lot of people out there, and I'm not speaking about you, Brother Rahman, just so we're clear, but there's a lot of other people. I know you love Doc. So a lot of people out there is coming at me with a whole bunch of crap. And I'm going to ask them, where were you when Doc needed you? Where were you when Doc was down and out? Where were you when Doc was about to die in the streets of New York? So don't come to me with all this stuff that people coming at me about, man, because it's not right. I did what I did out of love for that man. And I would ever cherish him. I mean, even now, believe it or not, in my meditations, I still talk with Doc. He still teaches me. He still gives me advice. If there's a problem going on, I consult Doc through my meditation. What should I do, Doc? How should I handle this? Whether somebody think I'm crazy or not, I can care less. But this is my relationship. I'm only speaking on what I know. And it may not be what nobody else knows. They may not like it, but the truth is the truth. I'm only speaking facts. Everything in my book is about, I talk about the bad times. I talk about, when Doc and I, had this so-called falling out, that people talk about. See, one thing, before this call, I was writing my second book on Doc. And I was on a section where Doc was talking to me, and he was hurt. He said, you know what? He said, man, it's a Nucleus family. He said, well, I can't say the words that he said because Doc, Doc had some curse words in there. You know how Doc is, he raw. But Doc said, he said, it's so much ego. There's so much drama goes on. He said, it needs to stop. He said, we need to be a family. Everybody needs to put all that stuff down and come together. See, it's easy to find something. Because, see, brother, we're all imperfect beings. There's no perfection on earth. You're not going to find it here. So we are imperfect. So if you're looking for some imperfection, you're going to find it. Because it's going to be there in everything and everybody that you see. So we need to start to focus on the positive and find reasons to speak good and to speak positive about each other. And not to try to find something to throw some dirt, to throw some salt in the game. See, and that's what's been going on. People's not looking at the good things. So many people say, oh, I love Doc. And yet they turn around and they throw dirt, or they talk bad about the USFA. They even talk bad about the memory of Dr. Moses Powell. I heard it. So I know this to be true. So those people don't love Doc. I love them.
Okay, now this is what I'm saying to you. Excuse me, Brother Grandman. Grandman saying comment.
Yes, sir.
And you know the easy way to do that? You know the easiest way to get around all that stuff? The easy way? The easiest way to get around that stuff is to respect your relationship with Doc, whatever it is, whatever your personal relationship with Doc, whatever it is. But you know the easy way to get around it? The more you understand what Snooker's rule, eye to eye, heart to heart, and to the wall and back, that's the easy way, because you can't talk bad about the system. You can't talk bad about the intellectual creation, because it's so much superior to what you have to respect it. So the more you know about the system of Snooker's rule, the more you can exhibit what the system of Snooker's rule, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back, the more you can impart to other people about the system of Snooker's rule. Yes. Then they got no way of saying. Whatever your relationship with Doc, whatever my relationship with Doc, whatever anybody's relationship with Doc, that's your relationship. That's my relationship. That's right. But where the benefit is what Doc gave to us in his intellectual creation that God blessed him with. Nobody can argue with that. Yeah, I don't care how they feel about Doc. I don't care how they feel about the negative. I don't care how they feel about the positive and the right. I don't care how they none of that stuff. Where the benefit is that any of us as students of his is the system of Snooker's rule.
Professor
all that other stuff don't really matter. That's between you and him.
Professor, you said something just now about elements of creation. You went kind of fast. What did you say that? Or
I'm saying that the way to get around all that stuff, all that bickering, all that ego, all that stuff, is how well you understand the intelligent creation that Doc was blessed with. How well you understand it, how well you can exhibit it, how well you can explain it to other people. So if you as an individual can explain to somebody who don't learn about martial arts, and they knew that, and you can take what you have and give it to them, that's where the real benefit is in the legacy of Dr. Moses Powell. Because the real benefit of Dr. Moses Powell is Snooker's rule, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back.
Professor, are you talking about certain, because of course we've had previous conversations, certain core movements and core theories and principles that
I'm saying to you is yes, I am. Say he has 30 core moves in Snooker. And say he has, since everything he has 1,000 variations. Say you may have, or the system may have, out of them 30, 40 core moves, it may have another 10 to 15 variations or 20 variations that you receive in the system. Now, what the real benefit in any of us as students of Dr. Moses Powell is, one, how much of that can we actually understand? Then, since we talk about people on the master level, we're not talking about people that can kick and punch. Everybody can kick and punch.
Right.
How much of that can you impart to a person that's coming up the street? He come up the street. How much of that can you get him to understand of these 30 techniques and say 15, 20 variations of the 30 techniques? That's your benefit to the legacy of Dr. Moses Powell. All that other stuff don't really matter, because that's not what holds together. Your personal relationship with Doc, or my personal relationship with Doc, is not what holds together as a family. What holds together as a family is Snooker's rule, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back.
Professor Rahman, wouldn't Doc be the ultimate judge of who understood the course?
Well, Doc is not here.
And principles. No.
Doc is not here.
So speaking when he was here, Wouldn't he understand that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
when he was saying he's the ultimate judge of who know, who don't know. Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because that's important because a lot of people say a lot about nobody really understanding, Sanuki. Of course, nobody's going to understand it like Doc because that is Doc. That is his baby. That's his creation. Of course, no one's going to understand it like that. But Doc told me, he said, there's a handful of people that I train, that really got it. They really understand Sanuki, really understand what I'm trying to say. Even the philosophy of it. He would teach, certain philosophies, openly, and then he would teach certain philosophies privately. He would go deeper. He would get more involved. So he would explain. He would take, for instance, people say, okay, in general, let's say Sanuki means simplicity, right? And but yet in private he would take that even further. And he would say, and then he would explain, this is what I mean by simplicity is da 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 da. See, I'm right about all those things because I got a lot of the stuff that he gave me that I'm going to share with everybody because a lot of the family, who may not have it, then we should be able to share with each other. I'm sure that Professor Rahman got a wealth of knowledge that he can share, and we need what he got to offer us. And there's a lot of us out there who got a wealth of knowledge. And I'll show everybody something, and so we all can come together as a family, as the brother's saying, and let's share this knowledge, and let's keep that light bright. Let the world understand who this man was and what he loved the world as a gift and as a blessing, because he a man like that don't come around only, once in a lifetime, he come around only once, and you're not going to get another Dr. Moses Power. You're going to get another one of him. That's it. It's done. And the best thing that we can do is like the brother said, let's get out there and let's present our very best. Let's take it to the wall and back. Let's show the world what this man gave us. Let's show him what he really means by eye to eye and eye to eye. So I agree with you, brother, Professor Rahman. I agree with you, brother. I got your back on that.
Hey, excuse me, Grandmaster Anakanda and Professor Rahman both. We have another question here, and it's just something that I think needs to be said also, since we have an eye-to-eye segment, and I'm sure we're going to have opposing views on this also. First of all, I would like for Grandmaster Anakanda. By the way, you are the president of the United Snooker Family Association. I want you to explain to the listeners that the United Snooker Family Association, its aims, its goals, and that the United Snooker Family Association is a separate entity from the legal estate of Dr. Moses Powell, and how this organization that you're the president of is solely about Dr. Moses Powell and putting forth the Sanukas. I want you to explain that, and then also the separation between the estate and the federation or the association. And then for Professor Rahman, after our dear brother explains, because I do understand that Professor Rahman is not a member of the USFA, and I would like to ask him if the evidence points that the USFA is an organization set up to remember Doc, his Sanuka's rule, and put it forth and put Doc first. Why would you not join the United Snooker Family Association? Now, that's a heavy issue, so I'm allow Grandmaster, if you can just do it within, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes and give Rahman time to respond within 5 to 10 minutes, because there's a lot of confusion, especially from other personalities out there, that the USFA and the estate of Moses Powell are the exact same entity, and they work together and everything else, or one controls the other. And I just want you to explain to them that the USFA is an organization that is set up strictly for the preservation of Sanuka's rule and Dr. Moses Powell's art, and that the estate of Moses Powell is something that you have no control over, and I or anyone else has any control over. And then, Professor Rahman, if you can explain why you are not a member, or why you will not, or if you will become a member, if it is about Doc. Grandmaster, you first, please.
Okay, thank you, brother. Amen to what you said. I can only piggyback off of what you said, but I think you said it. Because the USFA is a separate entity. What makes the USFA legitimate is being that the estate of Dr. Moses Powell legally recognize the USFA as the only legal entity to represent Dr. Moses Powell in Sanuki's root system. See, the state has the power, because they own Dr. Moses Powell legacy. And they gave us, and we exist by their permission, but we're a separate entity. The state of Dr. Moses Powell do not run USFA. The USFA, the president, the board of directors, and his members, we run the USFA. So it is not the state. It's a whole different legal entity, and we don't have nothing to do with with what they do. They can make whatever calls or decisions that they want concerning his estate. There's nothing we can do about that. But then we too have the right and the permission to run an organization according to how we see fit. The only thing that they can do is say, you know what, I'm not going to recognize y'all no more. I mean, but as far as, being able to do it as we please, as we see fit, this organization was put together for one purpose, and that is to preserve the name, the teachings, and the legacy of Dr. Moses Powell. It's all about loving God. A lot of people got personal issues and personal differences, but see, all that stuff needs to be left outside. We all come together. We all, a lot of people doing their own thing, their own systems. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But we all, as family, need to have one place where we can all come home and be family, regardless of whatever else we're doing. We all one family. We all Sanukas. We all home. And so if it's about loving our teacher, if it's about showing him that you care, that you love him, you love his legacy, that's what the USF is all about. There's really no reason, at least that I can see, I'm sure other people may have reason, why anyone Sanukas would not want to be a part of the only recognized legal entity that represents Dr. Moses Powell. But it is about him, and it's only about him, no personal stuff. Nobody can bring personal baggage. Even before I took the presidency, I thought about it a long time. I had to go through and examine myself. I had to let my feelings and emotions come up. And I had to see, can I do this with a clear conscience and a clear mind and bring no baggage and no personal issues? Because if I feel that I cannot serve the USFA properly or documentary property, I don't want to be here because I don't want to do nothing to hurt it. And after really careful soul searching, I realized that I can't because it was simple. I love Dr. Moses Powell. The rest of that stuff don't matter. So, yes, this entity is only about Dr. Moses Powell. Nothing personal, never mind what anybody else created, no matter what nobody else did, no matter who there is in life. We come here as a family to respect our father, to respect Dr. Moses Powell, and to see that his legacy lives on and that it do what it needs to do. The estate, again, that's something different. It's a different entity. They do not order us around and tell us what we have to do. A lot of people have a misconception, about that, but that's not true. So whatever decisions they make, whatever they do, it got nothing to do with us because we can't do anything about what they do. So hopefully
the USFA has no authority and has no, any legal proceedings or anything, has nothing to do with the United Snooker's Family Association. That is the call and the decision of the executive, not the executive, but the executive of Moses Powell's estate. That is nothing from the USFA.
Yes. No, if there's any legal stuff going on and letters going out to people, about the name and life and stuff like that, that has nothing to do with it. We're not sending nothing out. All that comes from the estate. I mean, hey, we have to comply. The USFA got to comply to what to what the state's saying. They have their own lawyers, their own setup. They do what they do. If all we could do is just say, hey, I think maybe you shouldn't do this and that, they can say, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do, if that's the way they feel. So, no, USFA is not involved in any legal proceedings, any letters going out. We're not involved to tell nobody that you can't do Sanukas because that's ludicrous. If Doc trained you and you got away from Doc, of course you could do Sanukas. Can't nobody take that from you. So the issue is with the state, not with the USFA. The state say, hey, y'all using his name, y'all using his likeness, y'all making money, y'all go pay it. That's what the state said, but the state feel, look, this is his family, and the family should benefit from something, and that's the way the state feel. And I feel the family should benefit too. But everything should be done properly. Everything should be done right. Somebody told me that Doc's family don't deserve nothing. Now, that's wrong. What do you mean his family don't deserve nothing? He sacrificed his family for us. So to say that they don't deserve nothing is not right. It's his creation, it's his legacy, that's his family. They should get something out of it. But again, USFA ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, we ain't got no say-so. So you're right about that, brother. And thank you for bringing it up because it did need to be clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Professor Rahman, we'll give you the same amount of time to reply, please.
Yes, sir.
On why you're not a member or why you won't become a member if the USFA is set up for Dr. Moses Powell.
All right,
and
no problem. There you go. One,
yes,
me being a long-standing, dedicated student of Dr. Moses Powell. First of all, I'm looking to see what direction that the USFA is going in. Whether it's going to be like General Motors and just a corporation, or is it going to continue the intellectual creation of Dr. Moses Powell? Because the real benefit of Doc is intellectual creation. Everything else is just side, it's just add on. The real benefit is intellectual creation, which is look at rule, eye to eye, heart to heart, to the wall and back. That's first and foremost in the legacy of Dr. Moses Powell. So I'm waiting to see where it's going to, when smoke clears, what direction it's going in. Number one. Number two, this price with this, you got to give $5,000 for this and $3,000 for that. I don't have that kind of money. So even if I felt that the other part was right, I don't have that kind of money to be given to nobody to be part of the organization. So that's basically my answer to your question. One, I'm waiting to see. Yes.
Yes,
no,
sorry.
Finish, Professor Rahman. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
First of all, I'm waiting to see till the smoke clears.
Yes.
And see what direction that the organization is going in. Then I'll make my decision whether it's worth me being a part of it. Now, as far as the family, as far as those in the master level coming together as a family and imparting the knowledge that he gave to us, I've been saying that for 6 years, that we on the master level should come together.
That's right.
As people on the national level, and determine, well, he's better at picking, he's better at the intellectual part, he's better at this one, he's better at that one. And so therefore, anybody's students are basically get the same thing. If we on the national level came together. I've been saying that for 6 years, and people do whatever they wanted to. I'm a grand master, I do whatever I wanted to. I'm a professor, I do whatever I wanted to. So until we understand that it's going to be like it is. But as far as the organization is concerned, I'm waiting to see what direction the organization is going.
Good. That's an in-depth answer, Professor Rahman, and I like that. Shabazz, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, yeah.
Okay, good. Because I kept hearing something in the background. I don't know if I'm getting feedback or whatever. But there was a couple of issues that we definitely wanted to clear up.
Yes.
All right, well, gentlemen, listen, I'd like to give you guys about, let's say, I think that's going to conclude as far as our first i2i segment where we have two different point of views, and they come together in a respectful dialogue, and they both put their points out, and we leave it up to the listeners to decide. I want to thank Grandmaster Anakanda and Professor Rahman for being the pioneers in our first i2i segment. Usually, normally I should say, some of the seniors as well as the junior people and what I call the middle people, and because most of the talking is never done eye to eye. Most of the talking is being innuendos, backdoor, slight comments here and there. So we try to use this forum so people can actually bring the issues forth. One of the things I got to thank Rahman for is he's one of the few people that he had a difference of opinion with you, Grandmaster Anakanda. And he said he wouldn't have a problem to challenge you on things or clarify, and that's what we're lacking in this system. What we have a lot of dojo warriors and internet assassins, and things like that. But when it comes on i2i segment, when you actually tell them, man, well, listen, here's what I have a problem with. We don't have enough of that. And I want to thank both of you brothers. If I want to give both of you brothers 5 more minutes, just to, or just a few more minutes to pitch out, tell the viewers something you think, maybe a personal story from Dr. Moses Powell. I know Professor Rahman has some real good stories. I've heard a few of them. And I know Grandmaster Anakanda has some real good stories. I've heard a few of them. So maybe just take a few minutes each to share a story of Dr. Moses Powell. And one thing I can say about both of you brothers is you both are, I don't want to say students, because I'm a student. I came around late 80s. I'm a student. You guys are what I call the disciples, because you were with Doc in this early, when he was formally a lot of things. Yeah, exactly. You guys were his disciples, where he put some things in you that I'll never see. He did things in the 60s and 70s, Professor Rahman, I'll never see, because even he said you may never see it again. Some of the things he did in the dojo. So, you guys, it's all Doc throughout most of his martial arts life. I consider you guys the disciples, and then we're the people. We follow the disciples who follow the one who created Snooker's Rule. If I can put that spin on it. But we'll start with Grandmaster Rahman. Just a few minutes. Any story you want to tell about Doc, or anything else you want to tell us, or even any pitch. And also, please mention the name of your book, where they can get it, where you're located at, and the contact information.
Okay. Hello?
So what was that? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you talking to me or talking to Grandmaster?
No, Anakanda. Grandmaster Anakanda. Sure.
Okay. One could think about you as far as any fees. It's $25 for underbelts to join, and it's $50 for black belts and up. That's it. That's the only fees connected with being a part of the USFA. $25 and $50, based on your rank level, and you get so much more back: certificates, lapel pins, patches, ID card. So that just eats that $50 if you're senior, or $25 right up. So I just wanted to mention that. Right.
And that's a year, right?
So
we're talking about $50 a year that goes to the USFA. A portion of it does go to the family of Dr. Moses Powell. And we're talking about $15 a year and $25 for underbelt. And we got people who, well, I shouldn't say people for $50 a year and $25. I'm glad you cleared that up with Grandmaster Anakanda.
Yeah, I want to, because, brother, listen, as the president of the USFA, I paid my $50. So, I'm not nobody special. I paid my $50 too. So, because we're in our growing stages and we need finance to help support what we're trying to do. So I did want to, clear that part up. Now, as far as my book, it's called Dr. Moses Powell, Beyond the Legend. He chose that title. So Dr. Moses Powell, Beyond the Legend, my story. And the book is available. You can find it on my website by going to mushabacenter.com. Spelled just like my last name, center.com. And you not only will have a book, but we also have a song that we recorded in his honor, and the song is titled Moses. And so that song is also available. And this Saturday in Baltimore, Maryland, doing a seminar that Professor Charles Richardson and Professor Les Penn is having. I'm going to have the book available as well as the song available. And I also donate a portion of this, also of these sales will go to help the estate or to help the family and the USFA too. So I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that. So pretty much.
And the website for the USFA.
The website for USFA, and actually the book is available up there too. You're right. The website is usfa.org, www.usfa.org. And that's the website for USFA. We have a lot of information up there. More stuff is being added continuously, and updates, newsletters, and the whole 9 yards, so we can keep the people informed as to what's going on. It's like Professor Rahman said right now, sure, there's a lot of smoke because we're in the first year. And it's a whole lot of learning curves, a whole lot of stuff to get right, a whole lot of stuff to learn and to set straight. Then you got to deal with all the other stuff and all the negative stuff and all the player haters and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to get past that, and then we're going to move forward because we're making great progress. We got some beautiful things online that's about to come into fruition next year and the year after that. So we got some major stuff that we're looking to do with the USFA. And I do want to be real clear. I'm a people's president. I'm for the people. That's what's important to me. The people is the ones who make anything click. And that's what it's about. It's about the people. It's not about everybody who's these grandmasters, all that kind of stuff. Man, I care about the people. The everyday number is my concern. That's what my attention. And I want to make sure that they get what they're supposed to get, that they get the teaching, the training, the education, and the attention. So my door is always open to any member. You can always call me or email me, and I will respond to you. I'm not one of those hard-to-get people. I'm available. And I want everybody to know that I'm available. I can answer any questions that you have. And lastly, Brother Rahman, I want to thank you for being on tonight and for the challenges that you brought up. But see, this makes a good dialogue, and it gives people education and learning when people can agree peacefully, and people can, agree and state their point of views, and as the brother say, leave it up to the people to make up their own mind. But you and I have no animosity. We brothers. We got love toward each other. And we can hear disagreements, and we can talk about it, and that's what it's all about. That's what's going to help put Sanukas out there and to keep it out there. So thank you, and I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you again.
Well,
Professor.
Very good. Professor Rahman.
Yes.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead and take us out.
Okay.
I got to let you close it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Rahman and Anakanda, on your ability to come together for the good of the whole. The only thing I'm really concerned about, the only thing I really care about, the only thing that make anything difference to me is the intellectual creation of Dr. Moses Powell. So what I would like to happen is I would like those of us who we seem fit to give rank at the master level, what I would like to happen is for us to come together as a group who say we love Dr. Moses Powell and his intelligent creation, for us to come together and share with each other what he's given us. That's really important to me. All that other stuff don't matter to me. It don't matter. It ain't got to do with it. That's the only thing that matters to me is if he's not here, is what are we going to do with the intelligent creation of Dr. Moses Powell?
Right.
As people on the master level.
Thank you, brother. That's a very good point because the rest of it don't matter. You're right. It's all about the dollar. You're right. I agree with you 100%. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, I want to say thank you to both of you guys. And like I said, you guys are the pioneers because you're the first two to have a dialogue, on air for millions to listen to about Sanukas Rule Jiu-Jitsu. Listen, the aim of this show and the aim of this entire Sanukas Rule senjokai, warrior within branch, and things that we're trying to do is to put Sanukas where it belongs, and that's at the top, not only of the jiu-jitsu world, but of the martial arts world. We refuse to lose, and we're not going to let Dr. Powell's system go down without a fight. We're going to fight, we're going to fight, we're going to fight and put it back to where it was. And no disrespect to anybody or any systems, but this is about Doc. And if you're about Doc, like you say you're about Doc, put his system and his name where it should be, and that's back at the top from New York to Florida out to Cali. And that's what we're going to do here. That's what we're going to do here at senjokai.com and with this On the Mat i2i series. Once again, I want to thank both of you brothers. And I want to thank my partner in crime, the architect, Shabazz, for, like I said, I ran into a little bit of a problem trying to get here on time, and he covered for me. So I want to say thank you to the architect, Shabazz, for hosting a great show, man. I'm sorry I came on the end of it, but nonetheless, I think our listeners, and also our listeners and our critics will both have a lot of things to talk about.
Yes, thank you very much. And also thank you too, Brother Shabazz. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Professor Rahman, sincerely thank you. So you are a Sanukas warrior. You don't back down, and you ain't afraid of nobody.
When that's all you have, when you don't have anything else, you can only give what you have. And all I have in 42 years, almost 43 years in the martial art world, all I have is Dr. Moses Powell Snooker's Root. So you can't give what you don't have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Listen, you can hear this video on the archive at www.senjokai.com or Senjo Martial Arts, that's with an S at the end, .com. Just click on, you go to our homepage, look to the top right, you'll see Blog Talk Radio, and you can listen to all our segments, including this historic i2i dialogue between Grandmaster Anakanda and Professor, who I call Senior Professor Rahman, Yusef Rahman. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I'll go ahead and let my co-host and my colleague close us up.
All right, I want to thank both of you. To the audience, have a good night. i2i.
i2i. To the wall and back.
i2i, heart to heart, to the wall and back.
Thank you.
When they